Hello everybody. I have something a little bit different for you today. As you might recall, a little while back I won a free trial through Banggood, and they sent me this to review. This is my first time ever getting a free product to review, so this is going to be a little choppy. I apologize for that in advance. But here it is. It's called the Eachine E010, and it looks like any other little ducted fan quadcopter. As you can see, it is a clone of the Blade Inductrix. There are a lot of these around. I think Eachine made one of the first ones in the E10 model. But what they've done with this one is this is an upgraded version that includes a camera for FPV. So I'm gonna open it up for you, show you a little bit, and do a little bit of a DVR footage so you can see what it all looks like. So it's my first time opening this box. I cut that open earlier, but here it goes. So comes in a normal box, well packaged, and wow, so everything just kind of falls out. So I can see already, I was wondering where they had put the camera, and it seems they just stuck it in under there. So it's not super well protected, but it appears that the blades on the camera are fine, and that's cool. They sent you a little kit so that you can add it yourself, I see. So they must have just taken the regular model, and I hope they soldered on the pads up here for this to work, but other than that, it looks like it's a regular E10, which you can see is pretty tiny. There's been a lot of reviews done on this quadcopter, so I'm not going to give you the details on this or the battery. I'll put that in the description. But as you can see, it's pretty sleek, pretty cool looking. I picked the red and black because obviously that's kind of my color scheme for most of my things. Yeah, it comes with its own battery with a, I think it's called an MCXP or MCPX connector. I always forget. They're kind of the standard now with all the Blade Inductrix clones, and Blade Inductrix itself I think has the same kind of plug. So it comes with the quadcopter battery, extra props, charger, and that's kind of useful. I might actually, yep, I have more of these, so that's kind of cool. The red ones are obviously really cool looking. and this camera, which I don't know if it's gonna have the specifications in here. Let's see, it does. Oh, it's the EF02, which I think it's different from the EX versions that come on the QX95 and other models like that. You can see all the stats. It's got a little frequency sheet, which often is wrong, so I'll have to check that myself. But in any case, it's pretty tiny. It has both NST and PAL built in, so that's kind of cool. And let's see. So that's super tiny. That's kind of cool. Probably one of the smallest I've seen, and I've been flying these and making these for quite a while. So I started out with making my own, and then picked up a couple of the Spectrum V1000 ones. But this is cool. This is tiny. I'll have to weigh it, and I'll put the weight in the description once again. It's pretty tiny. I'm guessing it's going to be at most, without the connector, less than 3.5 grams. I'm sure there's information. Let's see, does it? Oh yeah, 3.8 grams. It says it right there. 40 channel with race band, so that's kind of cool. So you can make sure that it's never gonna interfere with your buddies if you're all flying out there together. But most of these you're gonna be flying at home anyway, so it's not a big consideration. So let's open up the canopy to see if it indeed does have the connector built in, because otherwise soldering is going to be kind of a pain on these little ones. It does, so that's awesome. So basically, all you're going to have to do is put this up here, and you're probably going to want to toss this. This is probably about a gram and 1.4 grams or so of weight, and with these tiny ones, you really cut down as much as you can on the weight. I often even mod these so that I'll cut one of these little battery holders, since you don't actually need both, to trim a little bit of weight. It's pretty sturdy, so that's kind of cool. I have a different one of these, which I'll kind of be comparing it to as I fly it. And it's a little bit flimsier, so this is kind of cool because I think it'll hold up in a crash a little bit better. Now, this antenna is soldered on pretty well in there, so that's nice. Often these will pop off in a crash, but the board isn't screwed in pretty tight, so I'll have to screw that in tighter, make sure, because any vibration and stuff will make your flight not as stable, so you'll want to fix that. The transmitter controller is just a regular Eachine E010 transmitter, as always. I don't really like these. Let's see, you can extend the sticks a little bit, especially if you have other sticks. I actually buy the little Futaba sticks. They're 3mm holes or 3mm standoffs, and you can just stick it right on there. Especially if you have those standoffs, you can stick it right in here and then stick that on top, and it gives you a little bit of a better grip. But since I have the multi-protocol module, I'll probably be flying mine with my Tyrannus, because that's obviously a lot better. It doesn't come with batteries, which is fine. It takes 2 AA's. Oh, that's different. Usually have little AA's on these little tiny transmitters. So yeah, so all you pretty much have to do is put this here. Sorry, was that a frame? Put this here and connect it with your little connector, and you have little pieces of double-sided tape and a rubber band to hold it down tight. But that's pretty much it right there. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then show you some flight footage in a separate video, but it's pretty much going to look like this. I'm probably never going to use this again, even though it's pretty cool looking, I think. Unless I get a different camera and I put it at the bottom like I like to do, but for now, since it comes with this, I'm going to try that. The 3-bladed antenna is pretty nice. I think it's right-hand polarized, for those of you that have polarized antennas on your goggles or monitor. I'm going to be flying this with my SkyZone monitor, goggles, so that's going to be my way to go. And I don't like that it's a little bit stiff, because I think if you crash it, it might just pop off right at the connection, and if it pops off at the connection and damages the board, that's a pain in the butt, because they don't sell the transmitter separate from the rest of the camera, and so you're going to have to figure that out. In any case, this is already pretty much as long as the video should have been, and wanted to cut it down a little bit more. I'll add all of the details, description, weight of all of the things, including this with and without the battery in it, into the video description, so you can read it there instead of me having to talk about it and see the scales. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Once again, I got this from Banggood.com. That's pretty much where I get 95% of my quadcopter gear. So if you ever see any of my stuff and you really like it, I know a lot of you have already bought stuff from them because I've encouraged you to. So I want to encourage you again to check that out. Check them out. They have some of the best prices. Shipping can take a little while since it comes to you from China, but totally worth it for what you get. A lot of stuff you can't get in the States, and even if you get it in the States, it's a lot more expensive. So I'm going to put this together, fly it a bit, and then give you my final thoughts, which, yep, are going to be forthcoming. Thank you. Alright, so final thoughts. I flew it. I liked it. It flies great. It's a great little indoor flyer. I don't know if it's as fast as it should be. The pitch is great. So when you do get throttle, or you throttle it up, I should say, it does gain speed pretty quickly. The problem is that in turns, these motors just, I don't think, have quite enough of a punch for it to recover without it, sinking and crashing or getting into its own prop wash. So for that reason, I think this, but with upgraded motors, is going to be a beast. I love the camera. It's got amazing resolution and clarity. Even through some of the walls, like, you still get a good enough reception that it's perfectly flyable. I'm not too sure about the placement because it is going to be crashed a lot given that you're going to be flying this indoors mostly. And I think, oh, I forgot to mention, it does come with this amazing 45C little battery, so you get some extra punch compared to the stock Eachine E010 batteries. So that's pretty cool. The little connecting device, which is basically a rubber band and some double-sided foam tape, isn't the best in my opinion. I might just do a little tiny dab of hot glue and get rid of the rubber band. It doesn't really seem to do much other than tilt the camera a little bit. Yeah, I loved it. I think it's great. I hope it sells a lot because I want more people to be trying this hobby, and this is a perfect starter. I think it's listed for like $36, and then if you end up getting some cheap monitor or just some cheap foam type goggles for another $45-50, you're all set for some awesome little indoor FPV and getting used to how to fly these things. This is great. It's amazingly stable. When it crashed into things, it didn't just spin out of control and crash like some of the other ones. The board is really good at keeping it stable and bringing it back and saving it. So that's really nice. Sorry for messing with it. I think just not used to what to do with my hands. Yeah, so if you ever wanted to get into FPV, this is an amazing way to go. Any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. And as you know, for any of my friends, I love these quadcopters, and I'm happy to help you get started. So thank you for watching this.